Ladies, let me tell you something. Men, they're tricky. And I don't mean in a bad way. I mean in a way that will have you scratching your head wondering, did he just do that to see me or is he just being a man? Now I'm going to break it down for you. There are 4 hidden tests every man gives a woman. Yes, 4. But I'm going to give you 6 keys to really understand what's going on. Buckle up, because this might sting a little, but it's the truth. Ladies, let's talk about patience, because this is where a lot of women get caught off guard. Men, in their own mysterious way, are always testing patience. Now, I don't mean the kind of patience where you're waiting in line at the grocery store or sitting in traffic, although those moments can certainly add up. I'm talking about the kind of patience that comes when life throws a little unpredictability your way, and he's watching how you react. Maybe he's running late for a date. Maybe he doesn't call when he said he would. Maybe plans change at the last minute, and suddenly your heart is racing, your mind is spinning, and you're ready to explode. That's when the test begins. It's subtle, almost invisible, but it's there. He's observing how you handle those small frustrations, those little inconveniences, because, believe it or not, how you react in the small stuff tells him how you'll handle the big stuff. If you scream, if you complain, if you throw a fit over something minor, he's taking mental notes. He's thinking, can she handle the pressure of life, or is she going to crumble every time things don't go exactly how she expects? Men are very pragmatic about this. They don't just want someone who smiles when things are perfect. They want someone who maintains her composure when things go sideways. And let me tell you, it's not always about what you say, it's about what you do. Your reactions, your tone, your body language, your ability to stay grounded, all of that is being noticed. And patience is more than just waiting quietly. It's the calm in your heart, the ability to take a breath and assess the situation before reacting. It's understanding that life is messy, that people are imperfect, and that sometimes you just have to roll with the punches. A man is not just seeing if you can wait, he's seeing if you can handle unpredictability with grace. He's noticing if you can keep your cool when plans fall apart, when his mood changes, or when unexpected challenges arise. He's looking for a woman who won't let stress or frustration control her, because life is full of surprises, and he wants to know you can navigate them with strength and composure. And here's the tricky part. Patience isn't always a one-time test, it's ongoing. Every late text, every delayed call, every canceled plan, it all adds up. And a man pays attention to the pattern. He's watching for consistency, for a steady hand when things aren't perfect. That's what he's really after, the reassurance that you won't blow up over every little inconvenience, that you won't overreact when life gets complicated. He's assessing if your patience is deep enough to weather challenges without turning every minor setback into a major drama, because ultimately, that's how he gauges whether you can be a partner who brings calm and stability rather than chaos. Now, let's move on to loyalty. And ladies, this one is a biggie, because men watch this more closely than you might think. Loyalty is not just about staying faithful in a relationship. It's about being consistent in your heart, your actions, and your intentions. Men want to know that when they invest in you, you're all in, not just when it's convenient or fun, but when it gets complicated, when life throws temptations in your way, when choices are hard, when moments arise that could test your commitment. And I'm not talking about some crazy extreme scenario. I'm talking about everyday things. He notices how you interact with other men. He notices how you react when other guys compliment you, joke with you, or even flirt. He's observing whether you maintain boundaries, whether your attention and affection remain focused on him. He's watching if you're the type of woman whose heart wanders when things get a little shiny or exciting, because that tells him a lot about your character. Loyalty is about consistency. Can he trust that what you show him in private is what the world sees in public? Can he trust that your words and your actions match? Men may not say it out loud, but they are constantly analyzing your behavior. When he's with you, He wants to know that he can rely on you emotionally, mentally, and even socially. It's easy to appear loyal when everything is smooth sailing, when dates are fun, when life is simple. But what happens when life gets complicated? That's when the true test of loyalty comes out. Does your support waver when things aren't perfect? Does your attention drift when he's not giving you everything you want? Men notice these things even when they don't say a word. And ladies, loyalty also involves honesty. A loyal woman doesn't play games, doesn't manipulate situations, and doesn't hide truths. Men can smell dishonesty from a mile away, and any hint of it can trigger a red flag immediately. Loyalty is not about perfection. It's about steadfastness. It's about showing up even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's inconvenient, even when the spotlight isn't on you. It's about proving day after day that your heart, your trust, and your respect are devoted to him. And here's the thing, men sometimes test loyalty without meaning to. They might say something jokingly. They might step out in ways that seem small just to see your reaction. Your reaction tells them whether they can count on you to be consistent, to remain faithful, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally as well. Every glance, every word, every gesture, every decision, it all adds up in his mind. And the more consistent you are, the more confident he becomes in the relationship. Because men want certainty. They want to know that no matter what challenges come, you're going to remain loyal to the foundation of what you two are building together. That your commitment isn't conditional, that is rooted in a deep sense of trust and respect. Now, let's talk about confidence, because this is one area where a lot of women underestimate how much men notice. Men are constantly assessing whether a woman believes in herself, whether she knows her worth, whether she carries herself with pride or lets insecurity take the driver's seat. Confidence is not about being loud or flashy. It's about standing tall in your own skin, owning who you are, and handling life without constantly seeking validation from others. When a man is watching, he's looking at more than just your appearance. He's observing your attitude, your posture, your tone, your words, the way you interact with the world. He wants to know if you can speak your mind without hesitation, if you can handle criticism without crumbling, if you can make decisions for yourself and live with them. Because let's face it, life is full of challenges, and a man wants a partner who can handle her own business without losing her sense of self. Confidence also shows up in how you respond to situations where you might feel vulnerable. Can you take risks, express your feelings, and pursue your goals without letting fear dictate your actions? Men pay attention to these moments because they reveal whether you are secure enough to be a supportive, equal partner in life. Insecurity, on the other hand, can be exhausting. Men notice when a woman doubts herself, constantly seeks reassurance, or compares herself to others. It may seem small, but these behaviors signal a lack of confidence, and men instinctively recognize it. They want someone who can handle life's ups and downs with grace and strength, someone who doesn't crumble under pressure or let self-doubt rule her decisions. Confidence also intersects with independence. Men love a woman who has her own goals, her own passions, her own life outside of the relationship. He's watching to see if you are self-sufficient, if you can navigate challenges without needing constant support, if you bring your own energy and strength into the relationship instead of relying solely on him. But it's not about being perfect or never showing vulnerability. True confidence includes the ability to admit mistakes, to learn from failures, and to grow without losing sight of your worth. It's about balance, the balance between humility and self-assuredness, between knowing when to speak and when to listen, between standing firm and being flexible. Every interaction, every choice, every step you take communicates confidence or the lack of it. A man notices when you walk into a room with your head held high, when you carry yourself with dignity, when you assert your boundaries respectfully, and when you trust yourself enough to make decisions even when the stakes are high. Confidence is magnetic, and it's one of the most attractive qualities a woman can have. It tells him that you are secure, capable, and ready to navigate life's challenges alongside him rather than relying on him to validate your worth. And it sets the tone for a healthy, balanced relationship because men are looking for a woman who doesn't just follow, they lead in her own way, handle life with grace, and inspire respect through her self-assurance. Now, let's talk about humor. Because if you think men aren't paying attention to whether you can laugh, you're missing a huge piece of the puzzle. Men use humor as a secret test, and it's not just about whether you can crack a joke. It's about whether you can handle life's ups and downs with a light heart, whether you can laugh with him, laugh at him, and even laugh at yourself without losing your dignity. Life is messy, it's unpredictable, and it's downright ridiculous sometimes, and a man wants a woman who can roll with it instead of turning every little mishap into a drama. Humor shows resilience. It shows that you can navigate awkward, uncomfortable, or stressful situations without letting frustration or negativity take over. A man notices the way you react when something goes wrong. Can you find the humor in it, make a witty comment, or even just smile through it? Or do you immediately get defensive, upset, or overly critical? These small reactions tell him a lot about how you'll handle bigger challenges down the line. Humor also builds connection. Men love a woman who can laugh with them because it creates a bond that goes beyond surface level attraction. Shared laughter becomes a bridge between two people. It shows compatibility, emotional alignment, and the ability to enjoy life together. And don't get it twisted, men can tell the difference between forced laughter and genuine enjoyment. They're looking for authenticity, for someone who isn't afraid to let loose and have fun without worrying about perfection or judgment. Being able to laugh at yourself is equally important. Men notice when a woman can own her mistakes, see the funny side of her own flaws, and not take herself too seriously all the time. Confidence and humor go hand in hand because it takes self-assurance to be comfortable enough to laugh at yourself. Humor is also a measure of emotional intelligence. Men are watching to see if you can read the room, if you understand timing, if you know how to diffuse tension with a lighthearted comment, or if you escalate situations with sarcasm or criticism. The ability to use humor wisely is powerful. It shows that you are adaptable, aware, and capable of easing stress rather than creating it. And let's be real, women, humor keeps a relationship alive. Life can get monotonous, responsibilities pile up, and stress can weigh heavily. A man wants a partner who can inject joy, who can make him smile after a long day, who can turn ordinary moments into something memorable with laughter. Humor is also about patience in disguise because sometimes the jokes are corny, the timing is off, or the stories drag on, and he's watching to see if you'll still engage, smile, or tease him back instead of shutting down. Every shared laugh, every witty comeback, every moment where you let yourself enjoy the ridiculousness of life sends a message to him about your emotional flexibility, your ability to connect, and your willingness to embrace life with joy. And that is why humor is a hidden but powerful test that men use to see whether you are not just a partner but a true teammate, someone who can stand beside them through the serious, the silly, and everything in between. Now, let's talk about support. And ladies, this one is huge because men are always paying attention to whether you've got their back or not. Support isn't just about being there for the fun stuff, the dates, the parties, the easy wins. It's about being there when life gets heavy, when challenges hit, and when success seems far away. Men want to know that when they're struggling, you're going to be a source of strength, not an added weight on their shoulders. They're observing how you react when he's stressed, when he's worried, or when things don't go as planned. Do you encourage him, offer solutions, or just sit quietly and complain? Do you lift him up with words and actions, or do you make him feel like he's alone in the battle? Support is an ongoing demonstration of care, patience, and partnership. And men are extremely perceptive when it comes to noticing who is genuinely in their corner. They notice the little things, the texts of encouragement, the way you speak about him in public, the way you celebrate his achievements, and even how you handle moments of failure. Real support doesn't involve judgment or criticism. It involves understanding, empathy, and a willingness to stand beside him even when it's inconvenient or uncomfortable. Men want a woman who believes in them, not just in words, but in action. That means showing up when it's hard, not just when it's fun or easy. They're watching for consistency. Can they count on you during the tough times as much as the good times? Are you dependable, reliable, and present? Or do you fade away when life gets complicated? Support also involves emotional intelligence. Men want to feel that their partner understands them, listens without judgment, and offers guidance when appropriate without taking over. There's a balance between being present and being overbearing, between offering help and allowing him to figure things out for himself. That balance is what distinguishes a supportive partner from someone who is just along for the ride. Men notice your reactions when things don't go his way, whether you're patient, encouraging, and motivating, or whether you criticize, complain, and add to his stress. Support isn't passive. It's active engagement, consistent effort, and genuine care for his well-being and growth. And support doesn't mean sacrificing yourself or your goals. It means partnering in a way that allows both of you to thrive, that encourages growth, and that strengthens the bond between you. A man is watching to see if you will celebrate his wins without jealousy, encourage him when he doubts himself, and remain steady when life is unpredictable. It's about building a foundation of trust, reliability, and mutual uplift, because men know that life is going to throw obstacles at them, and they need someone by their side who is committed to facing those challenges together. Someone who won't bail when the pressure hits. Someone who understands that love and partnership are as much about action and support as they are about words and feelings. Now, let's talk about integrity, because this is the one test that separates real partnerships from surface-level relationships. Men are always watching to see if your actions match your words, because talk is cheap and promises mean nothing if they aren't backed up by consistency and honesty. Integrity isn't about perfection, it's about authenticity, reliability, and moral character. A man notices when you say one thing but do another, when your intentions don't match your behavior, and when small inconsistencies start to pile up. Every action communicates something about who you are, and men are experts at reading between the lines. They're observing whether you keep your word, whether you honor your commitments, and whether your behavior aligns with the values you claim to hold. Integrity also involves honesty, not just with him, but with yourself. Men want a woman who owns her truth, who doesn't manipulate situations to her advantage, and who can admit mistakes without excuses. They're watching how you handle responsibility, how you treat others when no one is looking, and how you respond when the stakes are high. A woman with integrity demonstrates reliability in both small and large matters. If you say you're going to do something, they notice whether you follow through. If you make a promise, they are assessing whether they can trust it. Men are also looking for moral consistency. They want to know that your principles aren't flexible depending on convenience or pressure, that you have a sense of right and wrong that guides your decisions even when it's difficult. Integrity includes accountability. Men notice when a woman owns her actions, faces consequences with grace, and takes responsibility for her choices. Conversely, they notice when blame shifting, excuses, or dishonesty creep in. They want a partner who is trustworthy, someone whose word is reliable, whose actions inspire confidence, and whose moral compass is steady even in challenging situations. It's also about how you handle relationships with others, family, friends, co-workers. Are you fair, respectful, and consistent in your dealings with people? Or do you adjust your behavior depending on who is watching or what you hope to gain? Men pay attention to that because it reflects your overall character. Integrity is deeply connected to respect, self-respect, and respect for others. When a woman demonstrates integrity, it reassures a man that she is stable, grounded, and capable of being a partner who contributes positively to the relationship rather than creating drama or uncertainty. He's testing not just your loyalty or support, but the core of who you are, whether you are genuine, whether you live your values, and whether he can trust that what he sees is what he gets. Integrity isn't flashy, and it isn't always easy, but it's the quality that creates a foundation for lasting trust, mutual respect, and a deep sense of security in the relationship, because men intuitively understand that actions define character, and character defines a person's worth in a relationship. And they want to know that the woman beside them is someone whose word and actions are aligned, whose values are consistent, and whose presence brings stability, honesty, and confidence into the life they are building together.